Welcome to Grace Conversations, and I am very honored and blessed to have our special guest today, Gloria Aladondo, Glow Essence, and we are just going to have a conversation, a spontaneous conversation. Gloria is a powerful woman, fully embodied in her feminine power, and I am so excited to have a conversation and learn some from her and reap some wisdom from her embodiment of the divine feminine. So Gloria, how would you like to start this conversation?
We can start how I came in touch with my feminine power.
Let's do that.
So I'm a single mom, just like you. I had to work hard, and I found out that I wasn't 100% a dad or 100% a mom, and there was something missing. And what was missing was going back to the essence, finding the woman's essence. Not the mother, not the wife, not the worker, not the member of a church or a community, just the woman. The woman that feels, that dreams, that desires. And I had to do a lot of meditating, a lot of quieting the mind. Sun gazing. I started with sun gazing and letting all the colors sink in. And then I started doing Osho meditation. A lot of movement and long walks in the mountains, just feeling everything intense. Like if the mountains were snowed, I will put my feet in the snow. Or the rivers, or just walk on the dry leaves during the fall. Just feeling the power of nature. And then I started recognizing this is a woman's energy. The fire within, the ones you fight with when there's something not fair, or just feeling grounded. Your mind is not going anywhere. You're just there at that moment, staying present. So I just started doing all these things and recognizing me as a woman. I started by putting a flower on my hair every day for like a year.
Nice.
Using colorful lipsticks. Have you heard of what does it mean to have the red colored lipstick?
I haven't heard that, no.
Well, I started with Cleopatra. It will give a bad name to the women that will wear red lipsticks. It was the color of the prostitutes. And in the Latino community, a lot of people don't like the red lipstick because they think less of you. So I will wear red lipstick.
It's a little rebel in you.
Just to
love it.
Yes. But these little things reminded me of doing the uncomfortable, made me stronger. And stronger in the feminine energy. And then I started recognizing cycles. All the cycles according to the moon. Why am I feeling so hungry today? Oh, is this part of my cycle? Or I'm not producing letters during this time. Okay, this is during this other part of my cycle. Or I'm creating because I'm on this other part of the cycle. Recognizing the smells of your skin, of your perfumes, of the oils, how they change with your pH. So I was very aware of all my senses, of every single one of them. It became very sharp. And then I started feeling the need to pass it on to other women.
Yeah, it's beautiful, Gloria, and it's been similar for me. And I think one of the biggest things for me stepping into my femininity was having a little more space and a little more time in my life, because as a single mom too, it was working 7 days a week, building my businesses, and also raising the kids and shoveling the snow and taking out the trash, and never really any time. I don't know how I did it, but I found time to meditate every day, and that was my sanctuary. And I did do yoga as well. I'm a yoga instructor, so it was part of my livelihood as well. But as my life started to open up, and I've always been a very sensual person, extremely sensual person, and just the senses, the smells and the sights, and having those heightened experiences, and spending a lot of time in the woods. Any chance I would get throughout raising my kids, I would either go on a long bike ride or a long hike, and I usually got a few in. Not nearly as much as I do now, but even sometimes my kids laugh at me. They'd say sometimes they'd worry about me, because I'd go out in the evening on my bike and just ride for maybe an hour in the summer evenings, and just all those smells and the different air temperatures, and the different sights and the sounds of the crickets, and the wind going through the leaves of the trees, all these subtle things. And when you're out hiking and being in nature and hiking, it's Mother Earth is so feminine, and I just love. And one of the things I love about being out in the nature hiking is it's not like a park where everything is cut and trimmed and manicured. The beauty of the logs and the dead things here, and the life pulling up here, and the haphazardness of the rocks and the streams, and the log in the middle of the stream, and it's all just wild and beautiful beyond belief. And then you go and you feel this heightened sense of sensuality, and you connect it, and you receive it into your being, receiving all that sensation into you, and it feeds you. And that having time, and more time, to go on longer and longer walks, and time to putter. Do you love puttering?
Yes.
It's my favorite thing. Nothing on the schedule, just time to putter.
Yes. There's poetry around nature.
Mm-hmm.
And like you were saying, you just feel so much energy that you don't know what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so rich. And people can see it. They can see it in your eyes, the sparkle, but it's just that you've been in touch with Mother Earth and yourself.
Oh yeah, and I think that's a huge part of us, is stepping into our feminine power. For me, has been connecting more and more deeply with myself, and turning that energy inward. And I have had this phrase with my friends for the last few years. It's like I feel like I'm a black hole collapsing in on myself, and I can't stop it. It is so much more powerful than me, and it almost, and I'm not sure what's going on, but it feels like this feminine power that's collapsing in on itself, me collapsing in on me, and it's just spiraling me into myself. And the only thing I've been able to do, you try to stay afloat, and you try to keep, the bills paid, and you try to keep your life working. But there's a huge part of me that just has to surrender into that energy.
And when you surrender, you're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like in my books, I escape to other places. I can feel the rivers in India. I can feel the texture of the walls in New Orleans. I can be under the Eiffel Tower. So I travel. It opened his imagination, just being able to ride and space out, let me say. And I found freedom. There's nothing that holds me in one place. nothing that restricts me from being me.
Mm.
And sometimes that's scary for other people.
Mm.
They want it, but they
Mhm.
are too scared to taste it.
Mm. Mhm.
And that's the true freedom.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That freedom to be ourselves,
Yes.
moment to moment, and let that guide us and trust it. And it may be that for me, sometimes I just sit on my patio and I just might just sit and sit. And sometimes this energy, this thought might come into my mind. Oh, you need to do this, and you need to do that, and you need to be productive, and you need to do that. And it's just like, just let it go, let it go. It'll all get done. I know it will all get done because I had those moments when I would just sit as a single mom and I had 1,000 more things to do than I do now. So I know now, I'm grateful for those experiences because now that'll kind of come up, that productive male energy will come up inside of me. And I know, you know what, everything in my being just wants to sit and be and receive and let life just penetrate me right now and just surrender to it. And that's where I want to be now. And having the freedom to do that. And then the next moment it might be I might just feel like I want to get on my bike and I might want to just ride my bike up the mountain and do some mountain biking, and I'm free to do that. And I'm free to do that. And and we're free, another deep, we could talk about freedom forever.
Oh, yes.
But the greatest freedom is to let this divine, feminine, life force power, this aliveness that's infinite, express out from us in the most joyous, deepest, profound way in each moment. If we can do that.
Sometimes I've gone hiking and I just go very deep.
Mm.
And I remember I'm all by myself and I can care less of what happens if there's a snake or there's the bear. It's like you are there protected because you are there for a purpose, and your purpose is to just get in touch with yourself and Mother Earth. And there's no space for fear, no space for anything else but you. And I've taught that to my children. I stop and take pictures of sunsets and sunrises, and they always tell me, why do you have to stop? But then now they stop themselves. So they stop to admire the true beauty. Sometimes we just pass by life and do not notice what's around us and how blessed we are. So I don't take anything for granted anymore, especially freedom.
Yes. Yeah, and that freedom to be, and you're so right, Gloria. I mean, it's just so beautifully said that I was stepping into that feminine power and that feminine energy, and this is something that, you know, men can gain from as well, because we all have a balance of male and female. But I think the planet right now, it's time that the feminine power is rising, so that yin-yang circle of the yang and the yin are balanced, and that yin is us relaxation and slowing down, so that we can see the finer things, the more subtle things that are so extraordinary. And extraordinary is just such a weak word. Wouldn't you say, when you're in that space and that heightened sense of sensuality is just
Ecstasy.
It's ecstasy. It's rapture. It's the whole body goes into rapture. The heart, the waves of rapture in the heart.
You learn to see an orgasm in a different manner. It has a different meaning once you have those experiences.
It's the entire body orgasms.
It's the entire body.
And it's waves and waves and waves and waves of rapture going through your entire body, your heart, and it's rapture isn't even a strong enough word.
Exactly. And men don't have to be scared of that, of us raising in female energy power, because we appreciate them more.
Oh,
Yeah.
the truth is the more we raise and we embrace the feminine in this
Yes.
world, in this life, in this dimension, the more the masculine can stand up in its true power as the container, the powerful container, because us women, we love men.
Yes.
And we don't want to be in that male role. We don't want to, and it enables them to step up to their true purpose if we're in our true purpose, and the balance and the orchestration of male and female can finally reach its level that it's meant to be, that brings a new world of ecstatic expression constantly.
Yes.
I just got the high five that it's time. We've maybe even gone a little over, but hey, we're in our feminine. So we're not going to feel rushed about anything. Thank you for being here, whether it's on radio, YouTube. Gloria Aladondo, thank you
for having
so
me here.
much. You have a beautiful and blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you.